Is that would be very sad also. Very, very sad. All right. So hello, everyone. Welcome to Insights with Alicia. It's Monday night, 7 o'clock in Phoenix. Always my favorite time of the week. And what do? Every week we gather to learn and connect. And I often say things and people always want to know more about it, which thrills me. And they love the insight from the scientific psychic, right? There are so many things that I've experienced that have transformed my life that I love sharing these insights to help everyone, not just my clients. When we get together, we talk about relationships, our behavior, life skills, the tools and the ideas to support all the changes that we want to make in our lives. And let's not forget about the animals. I talk about them too. Oh, geez. I'm Alicia Sweezer, owner of Who Knew Healing. And for those of you who don't know, I am an intuitive life coach and animal consultant and communicator, psychic medium, intuitive mentor, and I provide healing and growth opportunities for people and animals. For those of you listening as a podcast, welcome. If you would like to, I'm clicking all the buttons, so I apologize. For those of you listening as podcast, welcome. And if you'd like the video version, please visit my YouTube channel under Alicia Sweezer, or even better, join us live on Monday nights. I would love to have you. And those of you watching on Facebook, fingers crossed, hopefully, because we got some error messages tonight. If you'd like to comment, please join by the Zoom link because I can't see your comments on Facebook right now. I only have the one screen. So one of the reasons I love doing Insights with Alicia is because it gives everyone a place to start creating something new in your life. I get to shine light on things and show a different perspective and for how you can create change for yourself. And when you choose to continue to grow down that path, you get to work with me individually to transform at a deeper and quicker pace. This gives us a place to start. And a couple of announcements tonight. Before we delve into chatting, I wanted to remind everyone that I will be interviewing the amazing Leonie Dawson on March 6th for Insights with Alicia. If you want to watch the live stream of that recording, join me at our normal time at 7 o'clock. I'll be chatting with her earlier because she's in Australia. So it'll be recorded and then I'll live stream it. And for those of you who don't know, I know I haven't done a big introduction about her before, but it's getting closer now. So I'm getting very excited. She is a massive business success and an amazing person. I have used her courses for my business and it changed everything for me. You guys have seen that. We're going to talk so much about that tonight. This woman has had an enormous impact on the world. She's Australian, extremely funny. Who doesn't love that? She's the CEO of her own business, who's generated over $13 million in revenue. And she gives a ton of stuff away free. If you go to her website, there's literally hundreds of things that are free to help you with anything, not just business. She does a ton of stuff for children. There's workbooks and there's just so many free things in there. She really is an amazing person. She's an international bestseller. She's the winner of the, I have to say this right, Us Mompreneurs. So Australian Mompreneurs, I guess is what that's short for, People's Choice Business Coach Award. And when I say this woman has a global impact, it's an understatement. And I get to be one of the lucky people to interview her. And it's my first interview on this Insights with Alicia, right? So don't miss it. One of the things that I love about this woman, and one of the things I'm going to chat with her about, is that she is always authentically herself. And this interview with her is going to be about many things. And did I mention she's Australian? Trust me, you don't want to miss it. She says fuck a lot. It's hysterical. Okay, so that's 2 weeks from now. And also, as most of you probably noticed, there was not an Insights event last week. And that was because, as most of you know, was so close to being able to do this without crying. My best friend, Pip, who also happens to be a cat that you guys hear me talk about all the time, he transitioned last week. And so I wasn't in a space to be able to contribute to you all. And so thank you to everyone for all of the love and support that was sent my way. He is and will continue to be the CEO of self-care at Who Knew Healing.
And I am sure you will hear me continue to talk about him, because as much of a force as he was in body, he will continue to be as much of a force in spirit form. Um, so, okay, focus. I just wanted to let you all know, like, why, because I show up every week, why there wasn't an event last weekend. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about tonight, is listening to your inner voice and creating something from it. Recently, I have been having conversations with people and my clients about creating more for this world, being of service, leaning into their calling, listening to those little nudges that they get. Sometimes those nudges get louder and you start to feel like you're getting shoved around. Not that I know anything about that. Those of you who have known me or followed me, particularly over this last year, know I have and continue to grow through this exact process. Often there are times when we get this urge, right, to speak or write or create something, and then we think, oh, I can't do that. And then we pile up this whole list of reasons of why we can't do that. No one wants to hear what I have to say. People will see me then, right? No more hiding. People would judge, or they will have opinions about it. I don't know how to do it. If there's any tech involved, we use that and whatever other reason to stop ourselves. I get it. Believe me, I get it. Stepping into this part of who you are is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And there are many levels to it. And what is possible if we listen to that nudge and follow our calling? We live in a world, right, where everything we are taught is that everything must be perfect. In order for it to be professional, it must be perfect. In order for people to receive something, it must be perfect. In order for it to be worthwhile, it must be a whole and complete package, meaning your thoughts on something and how they might help someone else aren't enough unless they're delivered in a full class or a full presentation. And to demonstrate that I know what this looks like firsthand and how I know you can achieve it too, I'm going to share my story. And here is the crazy thing. Okay, so over the last year, my journey started with a 30-day challenge about speaking a truth every day publicly. So it was to post on social media a truth about something I had been through, a truth about something that had transformed, truth about my business, something like that. Because I did not used to be very public with my business until about a year ago. And you guys know I'm a massive introvert. Here is a crazy synchronicity. Today, Facebook popped up a memory of 1 year ago today is when I undertook that challenge. I had no idea that today was the 1 year anniversary. And here I am going to be telling that story tonight. So if you don't think synchronicities exist, here is an example. I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. I was like, oh my God. Okay. So the 1 year anniversary. Welcome. We made it. And if you're interested in learning more about my journey, right through that 30 days, I did turn it into a free ebook and get it on my website. This was an extremely challenging and adventure. And it brought up all kinds of beliefs, triggers, doubts, and fears. First, it was, holy crap, people are really going to see me. Like I said, no more hiding. What if no one understands what I'm saying? What if people say mean things? What if people think I'm weird? I mean, weirder than they already think I am. What if they judge me? What if XYZ? Then it was being attached to who saw it. Did anybody like it, right? Like, did they hit the little heart, little like button? And what were people commenting? The other side of the coin, because heaven forbid we cut ourselves any slack, is what did I do on the days where there was crickets, when nobody was liking it? I was attached either way. It was just such a very deep and vulnerable process that was performed publicly. Then a beautiful, unexpected thing happened. By the end of the 30 days, people said to me, you need to turn this into a book. And I was like, what? You were crazy. I said, people aren't going to want to read all this at one time in a book. And then they said, this isn't about you anymore. It's about how this can help other people, inspire them, and heal them. I was blown away. I Never saw that coming. And honestly, I still don't know how to fully receive that because of my own judgments of my own creations. Is the same process of when I was became an author of a regular paper book, right? That was one Monday night that we talked about that. So the next part of this, somewhere in the middle of this 30 days, I decided to start a blog. Well, that's not exactly what happened. I woke up one morning, sat down at this computer right here where we're chatting, and said out loud to no one. Back then, I could say Pip because then you don't look crazy because at least there's an animal in the room when you're talking to yourself. And I said out loud, I'm going to start a blog. I literally looked around and I was like, whoa, who just said that? I didn't even know people still wrote blogs. And I had zero idea of how to do one. So when I say I understand what it's like to start completely from scratch, I get it. And that is how I know anybody can do it. If you're having that nudge, I know you can create from it. So I did some research, thanks to Google. Google will save you every single time. And I started. I took the first step. It's a continual learning process. I am still learning techniques and tips to create my blogs in a way that are helpful to everyone. Then there came this live stream and the videos. You've all heard me talk about not liking to have my picture taken, and a video is just a very long version of that. And so what was interesting about how the videos and the live stream came about was because I had an idea of where I wanted to create something without it being in a class format. I wanted to create a presentation where I could teach something in a shorter time frame. For me, a class is longer than 30 minutes. And I thought I would charge like $10 for people to attend these presentations. Girls got to eat, What was interesting was that when I tried to explain this to people, they didn't understand what I was talking about. They didn't understand teaching something in this way. They didn't understand something that wasn't a full-blown course. They didn't understand of attending a presentation of where you learn. And, we do this every Monday, right? 99% of the time you guys go home with homework. But it wasn't the traditional class setup. And that created a tremendous amount of doubt for me because I was like, oh, am I crazy? Oh, all those things that I talked about at the beginning, right? Like, well, people won't understand what I'm trying to say. It's not going to make sense. Am I sure this is what I want? And, I do my very best to always listen to my intuition. And I still had that little inner nudge that this was the direction I was meant to go in. Doesn't mean like when we get this nudge, it doesn't mean that there's automatically clarity and that it's super easy and that it doesn't bring up any, doubts, beliefs, that sort of thing, because that's not what we signed up for. That's part of the human experience. I dislike it as much as the next human. And it's what happens. So I had the nudge and this is the direction I was supposed to go in. And over the next few weeks, the idea of teaching this presentation as a video popped into my head and then to do it as a live stream. And Insights with Alicia was created. Guess what? I had no idea how to do either one of those either. No idea how to make videos, had no idea how to put them on YouTube, live stream, nothing. And I taught myself. I will continue to say this. This is how I know anyone can do it. And now being public at this level, of course, brought its own set of insecurities, triggers, old beliefs, doubt, fear, and I walked through every step of the way. Here's the thing. It's not going to be perfect. As a recovering perfectionist, it was really challenging, and some days still is, because I vacillated from the old way of doing this where it was supposed to be perfectly produced and seamlessly and movie quality to hell, there are people walking around doing this on their phone outside, traffic and all kinds of stuff in the background. Those old professional beliefs were strong. My creations weren't perfect. They still aren't perfect. You know what they are, though? They are 100% me. And that is enough. And that is all I ever want or need, is to be me. If someone is hung up on the video background over what content I am delivering, then I am not your person. And that is okay. We're not a match for everybody. So, because when we have a calling or a nudge to create something from inside of ourselves, the most important thing is that people can receive it. They receive the message and it catalyzes something for themselves. They are different from that moment on. This is all that matters. This is why our calling exists. It is to connect us. If you never hear anything I ever say again, this is what I want you to know is absolutely true. If you have a nudge inside you that says you need to get this from the inside of you to the outside world, it is because there is at least one person on this planet that needs that information. This calling isn't about you. It's about how you can change the world from sharing what is inside of you. And if there wasn't a person that was here to receive that, you wouldn't have that desire to share it. I promise you. So when that doubt creeps in or those negative voices in your head get really freaking loud, I want you to remember that because it will happen. Pisses us off, but it will happen. And because what is coming from inside us at that level isn't about our ego. It isn't about getting praise from others. It isn't a getting behavior at all. It's a giving behavior. And it's an ongoing process. And you create what you can with the resources that you have at the time. You guys hear me constantly joke about being like a garage band because it's just me here doing all of this. I'm a one-woman show, blogs and podcasts, and I make my website and, I help my clients and all of this crazy stuff. And it's okay. We get to just start where we are. So after starting the live stream, right, and uploading the videos to the YouTube channel last summer, I then had the intuitive hit to put this all, right, Insights with Alicia, on the podcast platforms last November, right? So Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google, all that. Here's a funny story. You guys hear me constantly talk about how our perspectives, our judgments, how they filter the world that we see. And this just cracks me up. And I share this to let you know that we don't always have to have all the answers, or are we supposed to have all of the answers? And like I said, how we see ourselves filters of the world. I didn't really know what to call what it is that I do here on Monday nights with y'all. Like it has a title, right? Insights with Alicia. But what is the format called? So part of it's a live stream, part of it's a video, part of it's a blog, right? The text gets turned into the blog on my website. So is it a vlog, right? Is it a video? And I even checked to see what the cool term was on YouTube, but I couldn't find it. Then one day someone says to me, "Hey, Alicia, I saw your post about your podcast and I just haven't had a chance to listen to it yet." Now, remember, this was before it was on the podcast platforms. It was just YouTube and us on Monday nights. And I thought to myself, I have a podcast? Literally, we were at Taco Tuesday. And I was like, I have a podcast? Never in my mind did I see what I was doing as a podcast. So yes, Virginia, that is what it is still called when it's loaded as a video to YouTube or if it's live streamed. For me, a podcast was something you only listened to, right? So my judgment, my belief was that podcast category is over here and a video is here. And in today's world of technology, it all overlaps. It's all called a podcast, but I had no idea. I was creating more than I realized. So that story just cracks me up. I could say it's a blonde moment, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one who's had those moments and y'all ain't blonde. So what did I do then? You guessed it, more research and teaching myself how to do this and turn it into a podcast for all of those platforms and launch it there. And here's the thing. If you have the capital and the resources, this is stuff you can hire out. I don't, and I didn't at the time. So like I said, you work with what you have. And just because, like I'm sharing my story here because it's a very bare bones, lean business sort of story to let you know that if you don't have a lot of resources, creating is still possible. And if you do, and some of this stuff isn't a match for you, you're like, I don't want to teach myself that. You get to hire it out. That's fabulous. There's lots and lots and lots of choices in here, meaning there isn't really a good reason to not create. Just saying. Okay. And for those of you listening on the podcast platforms, I invite you to go back and listen to the earlier episodes. There's some good stuff in there. I promise. It gets pushed to the bottom of the list because I uploaded all of the episodes at once. And so it was a huge upload. And as humans, we don't like to click past the first page of things. There's literally a Google joke now that I've sort of taught myself SEO, but the big people that do all that tech and marketing, they have a joke that where do you hide a body? page 2 of your Google search results because nobody ever goes to page 2. So now you will think of that every time you go to Google. You'll be like, they're right. I never go past page 1, which is why it's the goal of all of his businesses to get on page 1. Okay. And once again, this whole thing brought up another process of its own sets of doubts and fears to grow through, not go through, grow through. This is what it looks like. Doesn't matter what we're doing in this world. This is the process of transformation. With every one of these steps, I had an intuitive hit, then an inspired action, and then I followed through on that inspired action, and I created something that contributes to this world every week. Never in a million years ago, when I started with a challenge to write a post for 30 days, 1 year ago, did I think that this is what it would create? Did I think that I would get to connect with you guys every Monday night? And the truth is it isn't done creating. I don't know what it'll be next, but I guarantee there'll be something. And one of the biggest challenges when we are creating and giving to this world is that we don't always see the results. Someone could have read your post, but not liked it. So you don't know if it had an impact. This is the place of trust and faith. And we all get challenged by it. It's so hard sometimes. And we get to hold true to what is our path and what is an alignment for us. Remember, like I said, it's a giving behavior. It's great when we get feedback. Oh my gosh, it's huge. And we know we were able to help someone or make them smile. This is one piece of the pie. Here's a funny story about timing. There are 2 amazing marketing professionals that I've taken courses from. And I'm continually learning from. One is Liani, who I mentioned at the beginning. The other is a woman here in the States. Her name's Angela Johnson. She has some programs like the Intuitive Marketing Method and her word course that have changed my life and continue to change it. As you all know, I didn't know anything about starting a business, how to run a business, or to stay in business. There's still a ton I don't know, and I'm always learning, especially this marketing part. I was on Angela's email list for 2 years. She would send emails. I would mostly read them. And at one point I received an email from her and I thought to myself, I really need to unscribe from this. I never do anything with these emails. Then I kid you not. A few weeks later, things shifted in my business mindset and in my consciousness. And I was like, I need to learn to market my business in a new way so that I can help more people. But I didn't want to do it in the way that the world says to market and sell things, right? That icky schmooze way. Ugh. Then I received another email from Angela about her intuitive marketing method. And I got a huge yes from my intuition, and I took the course. What Angela brings to this world and how she teaches us to share our business in the world in a way that connects with people in an authentic way is unparalleled. It changed my life, and it helped me find what my message truly is, how to convey what it is that I actually do with people and animals into words. Not always the easiest thing when it's intuitive. I don't have I didn't make a book and then here's the product that I sell. Here's the thing. Like I said, I received Angela's emails for 2 years and I did nothing with them. This wasn't because her products weren't amazing. They were. I had not grown into a place to be able to receive them yet and to take and create with them. And then I was. So when I say trust that there is someone out there who needs what you want to share, I am an example of it. That timing just isn't in our control. And as a recovering control freak, I don't like that either. So I invite you to take the first step into creating whatever it is that you want to share with this world. It could be a 5-second video. There was someone that I was talking to, and she knows a ton about natural foods and foods that heal and a whole world that I know this much about. And for someone with my personality, which my personality is that if I choose to learn about something, I learn everything, which is why, I would love, and this is my analytical side, right? The ancestry DNA stuff where you can go research your family tree and that whole thing. I would love to be able to do that. And do you know what my house would look like if I did that? You ever seen that movie, A Beautiful Mind, where Russell Crowe has papers all over the house? That is what it would look like, because I know my personality. That's why I don't go research. When I'm supposed to buy a crystal, I just buy it because that's what my intuition says. I don't go research everything because I will go down that rabbit hole and not find my way out. So think of me when you have this stuff to create. And she was talking about that. And she was like, well, there's this tea that does this, this, and this. And I was like, For someone like me, having that short bit of information where I go, oh, dandelion tea does this, this, and this. Oh, I'm kind of having that right now. I'm having that pop up in my world. I can go do the dandelion tea. I don't have to learn about the tea. I don't have to research the dandelions. I don't have to do that. I get to trust that here is this bit of information that I get to take and use. So when I say that it doesn't have to be massive, it can be whatever size, whatever shape, whatever format that you are being called to do. It is what is in alignment for you. And there is someone out there that it will help. And so, like I said, I invite you to, I got a little sidetracked there. You know how I get, I invite you to take the first step into creating whatever it is that you want to share with the world. I know it can be scary. I promise you, you won't die. It may feel like it, but you're not going to die. And I'm here to help you with it if you don't want to do it alone. Hell, someone should benefit from all this that I go through. For all my human design people out there, my profile is a 3-5. And this is very much the 3 process, so I'm told. So someone should be taking advantage of it. Okay, I hope that was helpful for all of you tonight. Thank you so much for showing up as always. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I had a blast. Join me again next Monday. And as always, if there are people that you want to share this with, this video will be uploaded to the YouTube channel tonight under Alicia Sweezer. Link is in the event listing. Website is Who Knew Healing, new with a K. If you don't want to miss any of these things, join up for my meetup because it all gets posted there, as well as Facebook. All these links are in there. Thank you to everyone who watches the videos, listens as a podcast, shows up every Monday night. And thank you to everyone who donated to my cosmic tip jar. It allows me to create more free things like this that I get to give to people. Anyone feels led to do so. Links are in the event info, multiple options. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all the really sweet comments in the chat tonight. Everyone is saying happy anniversary. They appreciate my authenticity because this is, you get me, you know that. And here's the thing, if you're having a nudge inside yourself and you feel it, you're like, oh, and you're feeling stuck or afraid, then send me a DM or an email with what you're specifically afraid of or what is causing that stuckness. And I will help you for free by DM or by email with what I see is the next step that can shift that for you. I'm here. And if you're like, heck, this is exactly what I'm looking for, book a session, schedule your free discovery call. Let's see what we can create together. And a massive thank you to everyone who has been on this journey with me. And for those of you that are continually joining along the way, I appreciate each and every one of you. As you've heard me say over and over, like, yes, this is my calling to, be who I am in the world at this stage of my life. And it wouldn't exist without you. If I didn't have clients, if I didn't have students, if I didn't have you guys showing up every Monday night to listen to whatever it is that I am feeling led by the universe to say, I wouldn't have it. This is all thanks to you guys. And I appreciate and am grateful for every single one of you. Okay. Join me next Monday. We'll see what we'll talk about. I don't know yet. 2 weeks from now, though, don't miss. Forget Leonie Dawson. Super excited. As you can tell, right? Still got the nerves. I'm such a fangirl. Okay. Everyone have a great week. There's lots of planetary things. I have friends who are amazing in the astrology stuff. I am not. You guys heard me say, and there's some stuff going on. So be gentle with yourself. Blame the planets, but also look at what you're creating. You know me. It's always that. Where are we responsible for our own happiness? And I'll see you guys next Monday. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.